It's May, and your calendar is likely already booked with an upcoming family or personal vacation. In fact, you may have more than one trip planned over the summer. And why not? The grandkids will be out of school, and there's no better time for a family reunion and some warm, sunny weather together. But if you've just started plant-based eating or are relatively new in your diet transition, this approaching time of departure from normal can seem a bit unsettling. Maybe you're wondering, how can I stay plant-powered and on track with my health and weight goals in the midst of all the upcoming fun and chaos? Let's tackle this challenge together. In this episode, I'll give you 3 success tips you can take and use as you strive to stay a plant-powered eater while on vacation. I want you to be able to enjoy your trip more with less stress, worry, or anxiety, so you can be more present with those you love around you. Ready? Let's jump in. Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi, friend. Do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. Before we start, I want to spotlight this 5-star podcast review I received on the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. Brittany Pope wrote, "Cleared my confusion. When it comes to plant-based eating, I've had so much confusion. I would love to transition to a more plant-based diet, but have no idea where to start. Anna's podcast has given me the tools needed to learn how to make this a part of my lifestyle so I can improve my health. Thank you, Anna." Thank you, Brittany, so much for taking a moment to leave this heartfelt review. It's completely natural to feel confused and not know where or how to start eating plant-based. There can be so much information out there, and some of it is really confusing. But that's fantastic to know that you now feel more confident to begin moving into plant-based eating with the tools and guidance given through this podcast. Keep listening, Brittany, as you make your diet transition, and I hope you will see your health improve greatly soon. Friend, if you are able, would you take 30 seconds to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts too? I would love to hear from you and know how this podcast is helping you on your journey to wellness. Tell me what your favorite episode is or what's a key takeaway you have from an episode you've listened to recently. Your review will also enable this podcast to reach and help more people like Brittany. So pause this episode right now and take a moment to leave a review, then listen on. Thank you for supporting the podcast in this way. Now let's talk about those upcoming summer vacation plans. Let's face it, vacation time can be fun, but also tiring and stressful, at least during the preparation stage. There's packing to be done, a fridge of leftover foods to be sorted through, and lots of other last-minute travel details to take care of. If you're traveling with a family instead of going solo or just with a significant other, that can make the pre-travel preparation period even busier with more details to consider. But there's also the stress of the unknown, especially if you're traveling to a completely new destination. And even if you're going to the same annual family reunion destination, if this is your first vacation eating plant-powered, that will take things up a notch, challenge-wise. since you'll be in less familiar circumstances. But if you're equipped with clear guidance and smart strategies, you'll be more confident when it comes time to step into the car or plane for that next summer trip. So here are 3 pro tips to make your next vacation more successful. Here's the first success tip. See your vacation as an opportunity. If you see your upcoming vacation as just something to survive or endure, this will definitely cast a negative vibe on the time you'll have on your trip. This can make the trip itself seem more unpleasant and as something you just need to try to get through. Instead, let's reframe your next vacation trip. I want you to see it as a practice session and a great chance to practice the skills you've learned so far eating plant-based. On this trip, keep a lookout for some of the new foods you have tried so far in your plant-based diet transition and learn to like. See if there are meals at restaurants that offer this. Examples would be black beans, chia puddings, or quinoa, red kidney beans, or chickpeas in dishes. Treating your vacation as a practice session will put less stress on you to be 100% perfect on the trip. Just do your best to stick as closely as possible to being plant-powered, and keep in mind your original strong why or motivation for making this diet transition in the first place. And remember, when you get back from your trip, you'll be able to get more fully back into your regular plant-powered routine. Here's a second success tip. A little preparation can go a long way. We all know this. Whether it is studying for a test, planning for a wedding, or going grocery shopping, some preparation ahead of time will tend to yield a better result. So it's the same when it comes to planning for your upcoming vacation trip as a plant-based eater. Of course, there are different degrees of preparation you can undertake. I'm not talking about going overboard and planning out every single nitty-gritty detail of the trip. But when and as you can, try to do some research online about the vacation destination you're going to. Check to see what kind of restaurants are located near your vacation accommodation. Then check to see if they have any vegan-friendly menu options. You can also check to see if there's a grocery store nearby where you will be staying, how big that grocery store is, and whether it would be accessible by foot or car or some means of public transportation. If there isn't much available, this would be a good sign that you'll need to pack and bring a few more non-perishable plant-based food staples for breakfast or a few simple quick meals. Of course, in order to do so, you will need to know what's provided in terms of cookware, equipment, and kitchen appliances at the destination. If you're staying in a friend's home or at an Airbnb rental, that would make cooking or keeping to some form of your regular routine at home, such as breakfast or making salads, much easier. But if you will only have a small cooler fridge and a tiny microwave in a hotel room, you'll need to rely more on eating meals in restaurants and other venues. Just remember, any preparation is better than none, and a little preparation can really go a long way. Now let's move on to the third success tip. See your trip as an adventure. Instead of being a limitation, your vacation can actually be a great chance to explore and perhaps try some new plant-based foods, ones you haven't had a chance to try before. This is especially true if you're going somewhere really different from your usual home base. For example, different parts of the world have different ethnic ways of cooking, use different spices, and enjoy different local fruits and vegetables. So it can be a great chance on your trip to sample some of these new dishes and tastes. Visit a local supermarket or a farmer's market to see what some of the local fresh produce is like, or try a new plant-based dish in a restaurant. Just be careful and stay vigilant in terms of maintaining food safety, especially if you are going to a new and unfamiliar destination. Treat this trip like going on a big adventure not just for you, but for those with you too. And you might find some new food favorites. A year ago, I went with some college girlfriends to Prince Edward Island on the east coast of Canada. It was a quick girls only getaway trip and so fun. I was able to enjoy many plant-based options and dishes available on the island. On the last leg of the trip, we stayed in a hotel that provided breakfast in the mornings. It was a delicious buffet of fruits, hot dishes, and an assortment of other breakfast foods. They even had vegan overnight oats made with fruit and a plant-based milk in little glass jars. As it turned out, my two girlfriends, both eating a regular diet, had never tried overnight oats before, but they were both willing and open to trying it, so they did. The result? They both loved the overnight oats so much that during the rest of our hotel stay there, my girlfriends had it a few more times at breakfast. I even ended up passing them the recipe for a blueberry vanilla overnight oats recipe at the end of the trip so they could make it at home for themselves and their families to enjoy. I'll post a link to this recipe in the episode show notes if you'll like to make it too. So because my friends were willing to try and explore new foods, they found a new breakfast favorite and one that was easy to make. It's a plant-powered one too. So today we looked at 3 pro tips to help you enjoy greater success on your next vacation trip, whether it is in the upcoming summer months or later in the year. These are, number 1, to see your vacation as an opportunity instead of being something to dread or survive through. Number 2, to do a little preparation beforehand if you can. And number 3, to see your trip as an exciting adventure and a chance to try at least 1 to 2 new plant-based foods and ingredients that you see. Instead of being something to dread or as a potential setback, your next vacation can really be a chance to grow further in your plant-powered journey. Now here's an action step you can take. If you have an upcoming trip planned, take a moment to write down one thing you can do to make it more successful for you in staying plant-powered. This could be doing a bit of research online to see if there's a restaurant near your accommodation that has vegan-friendly options, or checking if there is a local supermarket nearby that you could visit to get some fresh fruits and vegetables after you arrive. Then take a moment to complete this action step in the coming week. Friend, there can actually be many different smart strategies you can use on a vacation trip. Depending on factors like the length of your trip, where you will be going, and the accommodations amenities available. Today, I gave you just 3 pro tips to help you have a more successful vacation as a plant-based eater. But there's so much more. There are many other keys to building a plant-powered mindset, as well as smart practical strategies you need to thrive eating plant-based for true health transformation. That's why I've intentionally put mindset-building pieces and lifestyle success strategies into the Plant-Powered Life Transformation course, because I want my students to be able to really sustain this new way of eating for life. I've also intentionally put into the course essential kitchen skills, meal ideas, and easy plant-based recipes to help my students transition with confidence and transform their health. Go to plantnourish.com/PPLT course to find out more about this course. Let's move into a lasting plant-powered life together. Thank you so much for listening. If this podcast has inspired, encouraged, or helped you in some way to transform your health, I would love to hear about it. Please take 30 seconds to rate and leave a written review on Apple Podcasts to let me know. It will encourage me so much to hear how this podcast has positively impacted and made a difference in your journey towards wellness. And share about this podcast with a friend or loved one so we can all thrive in the best health. Remember, plant-based eating can be easy and doable. See you in the next episode, my friend.